the time that you put in, and even making the platform available for us to learn together and share. This is, I mean, if not for your leadership, we wouldn't be here today getting all these benefits. So thank you again for all that you do for everyone in Double Blessing Nation and beyond. And to everyone else on the call, Happy New Year in advance. Christmas came early this year, like Chairman said. I will address this in a minute. Like Chairman said, if you look at the crypto markets now, suddenly gurus have disappeared from the space. Nobody is talking again about Bitcoin getting to 500,000 by by the end of the year. But you're here. We'll analyze what's happening, and we'll talk about something particularly interesting today. That so that you will know that in this space there is abundance. You know what? Just go ahead and type abundance in that chat, so that I know that we're on the same page. Because what I'm going to be sharing with you today will confirm that there is abundance in this space. And you shouldn't be worried by dips of 20% or more, right? If you have the right knowledge and if you have the right strategies. All right. So having said that, we're going to look at something really interesting this afternoon. Speaking of abundance, I mean, just going through this whole month of December, we are almost halfway through. There's been a lot of value from the various sessions, learning sessions, earning sessions that we've been having. And now we come to cryptocurrencies again to understand, okay, what's happening, what's next. And I'm going to be talking to you about the different ways you can earn from cryptocurrencies, but I'm going to focus on a network that is called Harmony. Okay, so we've looked at a number of things so far as we've been considering different aspects of cryptocurrencies. Today, we're looking at something entirely new. And, as I was, preparing for this, I was really grateful to God, that, wow, in the midst of a potential bloodbath in the markets, there are still ways you can earn, crazy returns that people will not understand what it is that you're doing. Okay, it's not because of any special intelligence that we have. This is just God's grace and His mercy. All right, so we're going to look at Harmony today. We're going to look at everything that you need in order to get started using the Harmony network, what it is, why we are looking at it, how we can benefit, because that's the whole point. Okay, now before we go too far down the road, let me just address where we are, and to ensure that we all have the right mindset, as we are in this space. Like Chairman said, it's not that long ago. I mean, pretty much just a couple of weeks ago, the market was in euphoria. Bitcoin was in 60K, 60 plus K. All of the altcoins, the other coins besides Bitcoin were either at or approaching all-time highs, and everybody was excited. And if you remember that class we had a couple of weeks ago, we started talking about, taking profits when you see a lot of euphoria in the market, where you open things like CoinGecko, and you just see all the trends over the last 1 week. Everything is green, everybody is happy and excited. That's when you should actually start thinking of taking profits. Now, fast forward to 4 weeks after that, and I checked this morning, and the fear and greed index is in fear, which is even good, right? Because just yesterday, it was in extreme fear. And I've mentioned this before, that when you see extreme fear, that's when you should rush in to the markets, not rush out of it. So it's people who do not understand what's happening that rush out. And as they are rushing out, just tell them, thank you very much. You are rushing into the market. And I'll show you one such example today as we look at Harmony. But remember, there's two takeaways really from the conversation on this slide. One is when you are evaluating things that you should get involved with, in the cryptocurrency space, you need to target or accumulate projects that have long-term value. Okay. Now, remember in class, some lessons ago, we talked about a 5-step process you can use to evaluate an opportunity to see whether it makes sense for you to get involved. And we did that using the FOCUS acronym. Okay? You need to be sure that there are fundamentals. You need to be sure that you have your objectives, strategies, and plans well laid out. You need to build your own conviction about why you are getting in and how much you're investing. You need to understand risk before you get into the trade. And I told you that there's two aspects to risk. It's knowing when to get out if price goes against you, and knowing when to get out if price goes significantly in your favor. Those are the two aspects of risk you need to understand. Then we talked about simplification. I mean, do not deploy $1 in 1,000 projects. Okay, you will be much better off doing the research to focus on 2 or 3 and splitting the capital that you have so that you can focus properly on those opportunities. So that's the first part. The second part is we need to cultivate patience. You know, we say a lot of this in the binary option space. You need to learn to wait. And it's even truer in the cryptocurrency space. You need to allow time work in your favor. Okay, so once you've done the research and you've done your proper evaluation, just wait and allow time work for you. Okay, so those are the things I just wanted us to have the right, orientation about where we are in the market. We're in a very, very good place. Okay, you're going to look back 6 months from now and you're going to wonder why you did not act at this time. So we're in a very good place in the market. But just bear these 2 points in mind. Be sure that what you're getting involved in has long-term value. And we've talked about how to do that here. And remember to just wait patiently, be calm, and allow time work for you. All right, so let's dive right into it. We said we're going to be talking about harmony today. So what is harmony really, and why are we talking about it? Well, remember that we've talked about 2 different ways you can look at cryptocurrencies if you're trying to understand what's going on. Okay, now one way, as we have said before, is to open up something like CoinGecko and start from number 1 and just scroll all the way down to the end. And by the time you've looked at 11,000 different cryptocurrencies, you will have an understanding of what's going on. I mean, clearly that is inefficient, right? That's not a very good use of your time. So just keep scrolling through pages and looking at different names and wondering what is going on. But another way that we have talked about here is by understanding the major networks for cryptocurrencies and understanding within each network what projects exist and how you can take advantage of them. And as I was putting this together, I was actually surprised that for several of the things listed on here, we've actually talked about them in class. To give some examples, for Terra, we've talked about Anchor Protocol and Mirror Protocol, right? We've talked about these 2 projects in the Terra ecosystem. If you've been here for all of our Avalanche classes, we've looked at Aave, Trader Joe, Wonderland, and Yieldiac. These are different projects within the Avalanche network. Now, instead of just thinking about all these things listed here as individual cryptocurrencies, you need to just understand what the major networks are, and within each major network, which projects you should be focused on. Okay. Now, there's an application or a website that we've looked at in class that looks remarkably similar to what I'm showing on the screen here, or another way for you to see what I'm showing on here. Let me just test, how, the good students in the house, what's that website that you can go to where you can look at the major networks and each project within the network? All right, so let me look at this on the chat. Let's see who the good students are. Okay, Biola Bakari, thank you very much. Dr. Rosemary, thank you very much. That is DeFi Llama. You are spot on. Okay, so that's another way you can understand what the major networks are. And within each major network, for instance, if you clicked on Terra, right? I know I only put Anchor and Mirror on the list, but there's several other things that you can look at and just be curious ask yourself what's going on, what are these things about, what do they do, and you'll be surprised at what you find. And in fact, that is how we found what we're going to be talking about today. You know, we talked about harmony. Now, you might look at this whole top level and you say, but I don't see harmony here. Well, because there are many major networks, you can actually come over down to the right-hand side and you see that there's even more. And somewhere here, you have a relatively obscure project called Harmony. So let's click on Harmony here and then see what we find. Okay, so when you click on Harmony, this is what you see on DeFi Llama. You see that it's not a very big network compared to Ethereum. Ethereum, we have tens of billions of dollars locked there. Okay, but for Harmony, you're just crossing half a billion. Okay, but remember what we said, right, is really important about using DeFi Llama. You use DeFi Llama to understand where money is going so that you can position yourself there to take advantage of the move. That's one of the things you use DeFi Llama for. Okay, because if you look at all the networks, let's use a different example now. If you look at Binance Smart Chain, you'll see that, yes, there was a run up, but money is basically just staying flat, right, on this ecosystem. To further reinforce this point, if you look at Polygon network, same thing. You had a significant inflow of money and then things are just staying flat or even declining. Okay? When you compare that with something like Harmony, yes, it looks like things are flattening out a bit, but this one still seems to have a bit more momentum than some of the other major networks. So you can come here, do the research yourself and understand how money flows in the decentralized finance space. So that even though a lot of money seems to have left crypto, at some point we touched $3 trillion in market cap in cryptocurrencies. But now we're closer to 2.1 trillion. So it looks like almost 900 million has left, but relatively nothing has left the Harmony ecosystem. That's something you should keep in mind, right? When you're analyzing things and you're trying to understand where money is going. All right, so let's break down Harmony a bit, right? You know, we've said once you look at the major ecosystem, you can scroll down and look at the different projects that are in that ecosystem. Now, there are not many. There's, just a handful, about 30 different projects here. But remember something else that we've said in class. Focus your attention on the top 5, right? Just ignore everything else and focus on the top 5 for the most part, unless we tell you otherwise. So the top application here in the Harmony ecosystem is something called DeFi Kingdoms. And this is one of the hidden gems, right, of the fourth quarter this year, this application called DeFi Kingdoms. So we're going to look at what DeFi Kingdoms is. We are not going to be able to cover the whole thing today because there is a lot that you can do in DeFi Kingdoms. We're going to go through some tutorials about how you can take advantage of DeFi Kingdoms and why you should keep one eye, or let me say it differently, why you should keep both eyes on this application, at least going into the rest of the year and the first quarter of next year, okay? So we're going to be focused on DeFi Kingdoms. Why? Because one, it's the #1 application on the Harmony ecosystem, and of the over 500 million that is locked in the Harmony ecosystem, more than half of that is in DeFi Kingdom. So that alone should even make you ask the question, what is this? As in, how can one application out of 30 command more than half of the total value that is locked in that major network? Okay. Just to reinforce the point, let's go back to Ethereum and let's just compare. So if you look at Ethereum has $160 billion locked, okay? But Curve, the #1 application there, has 18 billion. That's just under 10%. So you see that there are several applications that have over $10 billion. So this is more evenly spread on the Ethereum network. But if you come back to Harmony and you see the disparity, you see that one application really has a lot of the money in it. So that should be making you ask some questions. What's DeFi Kingdoms, and how can I take advantage of it? Okay, all right. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be spending some time looking at DeFi Kingdoms, one of the top applications on the Harmony ecosystem. Now, here's something for you to understand. One of the reasons why DeFi Kingdoms is something I've said you should look at is because of the possibilities in this application. I will go to the website and look at it very, very quickly, but just stay with me for now. So what is DeFi Kingdoms? It is many things. Number one, it is a game. Okay, and this is going to sound funny. So it is a game. So you actually go to the website and you can, play games. You can complete assignments, and you can earn money by playing games. So that's number one for what it is. And number two, it is a decentralized exchange. So although you can go here and play games, you can also exchange one cryptocurrency for another on DeFi Kingdoms. Okay? And you'll see the interface very, very soon. Additionally, you know that we've talked about yield farming, here as a way to earn, where you're basically providing two different cryptocurrencies that you own, you deposit them, and you're able to earn rewards because you've deposited those cryptocurrencies. You can also do that here. Okay? And you may be surprised at how much you can earn from yield farming. And I mean, we made this promise at the start of December that you will have an opportunity to buy your first NFT during this month, at least understand what is going on. Well, if you've waited for 2 weeks, well, we're almost there, because DeFi Kingdom is also a place where you can buy, sell, and create NFTs, right? Who's excited about learning more about DeFi Kingdoms? Okay, let me see some excitement. I mean, we've talked about 6 different ways that you can earn from cryptocurrencies, and guess what? You can do all 6 on DeFi Kingdoms, right? There is no other application I know that you can do all 6 on, right? This is the only one I know. Okay, so just be aware of when I say that we're in an environment of abundance, and all you need to do is just stay connected so that you can learn this skill, right? Because if you've been in this class up on this time, you could have found this application by yourself, because we've used DeFi Llama before multiple times. We've talked about the principles, focus on the top 5. And that's the process that I just went through with you, right? To show you how you can identify these things by yourself, right? Just with a few simple principles that we've gone through. Okay, so remember, with all these 6 different ways you can earn from cryptocurrencies, we're going to look at examples on how you can do all 6 of them. We're not going to be able to finish it because I don't want to rush the steps. There's multiple things that you need to do in order to complete all of these activities. So we're going to split this in 2. We'll do the first part today. We'll try and cover conventional rewards and yield farming, and then we'll resume. I think the next time we catch up is on Friday. We'll resume on Friday with play to earn. Friday is NFT Friday. We're going to focus on how you can create NFTs on DeFi Kingdoms and how you can sell those NFTs and make money, right? Okay, so let's get right into it and focus on these first 3. How can we profit from DeFi Kingdoms using the conventional approach of buying cryptocurrency and holding it? Then we'll look at staking, because you can also stake here. And then we'll look at yield farming, and we'll see some examples. But before we can go ahead and use DeFi Kingdoms, remember we are looking at the Harmony network. So you know the first thing that we need to do, right? We need to be sure that Harmony is set up on MetaMask, right? So how are we going to do that? That's the first thing that we're going to do. So we're going to go through a number of steps today. I think we have about 30 or so more minutes. We should be able to cover these 6 steps. These 6 steps should help us complete the first 3 ways that we can earn using DeFi Kingdoms: conventional, staking rewards, and then yield farming. All right. So first thing we need to do is add Harmony to MetaMask. Okay, so let me just set up the screen real quick so that you will, okay, you know what, before we go ahead and add Harmony, let me show you first what DeFi Kingdoms looks like. Let me bring this over here. All right, so DeFi Kingdoms. I'll put the link in the chat. You won't be able to access it just yet because you don't have Harmony, but I want you to see the end first, so that because you know it can be a bit overwhelming the first time when you look at it. You're like, hey, this is very different from Sushi Swap and all the other things we know. All right. So this is what you should see when you first get started. I'll put the link in the chat just so you know you have it, but don't worry, in less than 30 minutes, you will be able to do this by yourself. So you can see once you come here, it tells you start playing. Okay, so you know that this is a game. Okay, so people come here and play games. Now, like unlike all the other or many of the other games where you pay money to play the game, in this case, you play the game to earn money, right? So that's what we mean by play to earn in this space. So typically, if you just click on start playing, I want to show you the main interface, and then I'll show you how you can set up Harmony on your own. Good. So this is what it looks like. So this is the interface you should see when you eventually log into DeFi Kingdom. So just remember this. And now we're going to go through the individual steps to set this up. Okay. All right. So what's the first thing that you should do when you want to set up DeFi Kingdoms? I told you that we need to add this to MetaMask. So give me a minute to just pull up the instructions so that I can put them and you can take a screenshot. Okay. Okay. I need documents. All right. I want you to be able to see the steps yourself. So give me a minute to just pull that up for you. All right, so this is what you need. Remember step 1, let me go back to that slide so that you can. Step 1 is to add Harmony to your MetaMask, okay? Because you need the main network added there. Okay, so you may need to take, you might want to take a screenshot of this section right here, and then I will guide you on what you need to do. Okay, so take a screenshot right now. You can't write this down. Okay, just take a screenshot, use your phone, take a picture, because I'm going to be guiding you on the steps that you need to follow. It's really simple. It will take you 1 or 2 minutes to do this. So the first thing you need to do is you come to your MetaMask if you've not already done so. And what you should do is Once you've opened, well, you can see I already have Harmony, but don't worry about that. Just click on this circle here on your MetaMask. Right? Okay. And when you do that, you can come to settings. When you click on settings, you come to advanced. Oops, oh no, sorry. Should be network, sorry. So when you click on settings, you don't go to advanced, you come to networks. And by the time you come all the way to the bottom, you'll see add a network. Okay. Now, if you click on that, well, let me just do that demo again so that it will go smoothly. Okay. Come to MetaMask, click on your MetaMask. There's a circle at the top right. Let me explode this so that you can see. All right, so there's a circle up here when you open MetaMask. You click on that circle, and you go all the way to the bottom and click on settings. Now, what you need to do is you look for networks on the left, and you will see add a network here. Okay, so that's what you need to do. Okay, good. So that's the first thing. You add a network. Now, notice the settings that I have put here. These are the same settings that you need to put in order to add the Harmony network to your MetaMask. So just go ahead. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do this. Okay. My MetaMask should be showing now since I've expanded this. You're going to see the network name. So I'm just going to go ahead and type this to make this very easy for everybody so that you can copy and paste. Okay, network name, you need to put the Harmony mainnet. This is us really going step by step today. New RPC URL so that you can all copy and paste it. Is that chain? And please copy and paste these things. Don't if you're going to write them manually, there's a chance that you'll make an error. So I think this is like the safest way to do this. And then the currency symbol, give me a minute, let me just copy this. Currency symbol is 1. And the block explorer URL is that. Okay, once you do that, you should see the save button and then you should be able to click save. I don't need to do that because I have already set it up. All right, so once you do that, well, I think in your own case, you should see an empty wallet, right? Mine is different because obviously I've added things to it. But let me just test. Who has been, if you've been able to set up the Harmony network on MetaMask, and you can see Harmony at the top like this, along with all the others, go ahead and type a 2 in the chat. Let me just see how many people have been able to set this up. Don't be afraid to copy and paste these things, okay? Your money is not going to disappear. This is an empty network that we're creating. Oh, fantastic. Okay, we've got some people who are following. Wait for some more feedback from maybe a couple of other people. So I'm sure that you're up to speed. Okay, this is really straightforward. Just copy and paste those things that I put in the chat, if you can, and you should be able to set up Harmony on your MetaMask. You will have it like all these other networks up here. Okay, right, good. Let's go ahead. So once you've done this, this is actually the most difficult thing that you need to do. Okay. The next thing that you need to do, let's just come back here, is you need to acquire 1. Okay. Now, let me just take some time to remind us of why we need to do this. Okay. Remember, let's go back to DeFi Llama. Remember that every time you are dealing with a major network, if you want to use the applications within that network, remember what you need. You need the native currency of each of the major networks. You know, we've talked about paying for transaction fees or gas fees. So there is no way that you're going to do transactions on these major networks without having the native currency. Now, let me just test now and be sure that we are communicating, okay? What is the native currency for the Ethereum network? Okay, please type it in the chat. What's the native currency for the Ethereum network? Okay, thanks. Thank you very much for your feedback. You know, the technically correct native currency is the Ether. Okay, I know sometimes we call the currency Ethereum and we call the network Ethereum, but Ethereum is really the network, and then Ether is the native currency. Good, good. Really happy that everyone remembers that. Let's do one more so that I'm sure that we are really, really getting it. What is the native currency for Avalanche? I mean, everybody should know this one. We have sung and danced about the Avalanche network. Fantastic. So the native currency for the Avalanche network is AVAX. So if you're doing transactions on the Avalanche network and you don't have AVAX in your wallet, nothing is going to happen. The same thing for Harmony, okay? So the native currency for Harmony is, you know, one, is the one token. And how do we know that? Well, you know, you can come to CoinGecko, type Harmony, and you will see that the currency symbol is one, right? So you need, that's where that instruction comes from. You need one in your wallet in order to take advantage of transactions on the Harmony network. All right, so let's come back to this. We're on step 2. We need to acquire some one. Now, I'm going to use an example that shows you how you will automatically get some of this while you're doing this as well. Okay, now, one of the things you can do is you can send money from one network to another. Now, I'm going to take 1 minute to really explain this because this is important, okay? And everybody needs to pay attention here, okay? And to illustrate this, I'm going to use DeFi Llama once again. So far in all our conversations, we have not sent money from one network to another. All the transactions that we have been doing have been either between a centralized exchange like Binance and your MetaMask, but within MetaMask, we've not really sent money, for instance, from Ethereum to Terra, or from Terra to Avalanche, or from Avalanche to Ethereum. We've not really done that, okay? Now, anytime you want to send money from one network to another, you have to cross a bridge. Let me say that again. Every time you want to send money from one network to another, you have to cross a bridge. Now, because we've used the Avalanche network a lot, I want to use that as an example. I'll use either Avalanche or Terra, whichever one is feasible, to show you how you can send money from one network to the Harmony network. Okay, and the particular bridge we are going to be using is called Synapse protocol. Okay, so don't worry too much about. I'm just going to put it in the chat so that you see what it is. Synapse protocol. All right, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, so if you click on that, you're going to see something like this. Okay, now I want to send money from Avalanche to Harmony. So I think the first thing I need to do is go to my MetaMask and be sure that I am on the Avalanche network. Okay, So that's where we are now. Let me even be sure that I have the money that I want to send. Oops, okay, I don't have it. Okay, we'll get it. We'll get it very soon. All right, so I want to send money from Avalanche to Harmony. Okay, now the currency I want to send is USDC, but if you were paying attention, or maybe you didn't see it, let me just go ahead and open my Avalanche wallet so that you can see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so I want to send USDC from Avalanche to Harmony, but I don't have any USDC. Well, as it happens, I have USDT. So what do we need to do to convert USDT to USDC within the same network? You can just go to Trader Joe, right? So let's do that real quick. This isn't really one of the steps here. It's just because I want the USDC. And when we are done with it, I will explain why it is USDC that I'm trying to send. Okay, so we go to trade on Trader Joe. I want to convert some of the USDT that I have to USDC. Okay, and just for the purpose of this exercise, let's transfer for $500, shall we? Okay. I know it says there's insufficient liquidity. Let's give it time to think. I think when it is done thinking, it will know that there's liquidity. Okay, good. So there's liquidity. I'm changing this to this. I've done this before. That's why it's just giving me the option to swap directly. So I'll go ahead and swap, confirm swap, and I will have USDC in my wallets. Okay, so again, just ignore this particular step. This step is just for me to get USDC in my wallet because that is the currency I want to send from the Avalanche network to Harmony. Okay, so again, if you missed any part of this, just look out for the recording and you will be fine. Okay, so let's come back to MetaMask. Okay, I have approximately 500 USDC now in my Avalanche wallet. So we can go back to signups and send this over to the Harmony network. So just be sure that you're starting from Avalanche, as I am in this case, and I'm going to Harmony. I want to send all the USDC I have. So I'll click on this so that all of this is available to be sent. And then when you see this, this is actually good. This means I'm going to be getting more money on Harmony. When you see this and this is green, right? It means I'm going to be getting more money on Harmony when this arrives there. Okay, if it was red, then we would be concerned. This is one of the reasons I like using the Synapse bridge to transfer money. Now, notice something here. You will see that in addition to me receiving USDC on Harmony, there is a comment here that I will also receive 0.11. So I'll receive 0.1 units of the cryptocurrency called one. So that's why I said we're going to combine two different steps together. You know, remember, ideally what we should have done is we should have gone somewhere and bought this cryptocurrency first before we now send the one that we really need, right? But we can combine two steps together. So just by sending money from Avalanche to the Harmony network, I will automatically get the cryptocurrency that I need for transactions. And you will see that this quantity of cryptocurrency that we are getting is actually more than sufficient for you to do about 40 to 50 transactions on the Harmony network. The Harmony network is even cheaper to use than Polygon, right? So if you thought Polygon was cheap, where you're paying 1 cent for a transaction, here, and I'll show you, many of the transactions you do, you're paying a fraction of a cent. So no, not a lot to do here. All you need to do is just click on bridge token, right? To send this from here from Avalanche to Harmony. And we just need to wait for a minute or so for it to go through. Okay, so this is a very, very quick way of sending your cryptocurrency from Avalanche to Harmony. Now, there are other networks you can use, but I've used Avalanche as my source network here. I don't want to change anything while the transaction is going through. Just for us to, but while it's going through, let's just talk about some of the other things that you should be aware of. So I was saying there are other networks that you can send money from, okay, in order for it to get to the Harmony network. I chose to use Avalanche here because I already have funds on the Avalanche network. We've talked about Terra as well. You could also use the Terra ecosystem to send money to Harmony. Or you know what, you could also go to centralized exchanges and buy Harmony. It's really up to you which method you want to use. Okay, but here I've just used one example because I want you to start getting familiar with how you send money from one network to another. Is something that we have never done in class before. So I want to be sure that you know that it is possible and you're not always looking for Binance or KuCoin or Coinbase to send money. You can send money from one network to another. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch to the Harmony network. And I believe the funds should have arrived there. Okay, Harmony. All right, so I have some funds. Okay, I think I had about 1,000 when we first looked at this. This was 1,100, but because we've sent approximately 500 here now, that's why this has gone up. So the money has arrived in our Harmony wallet. Okay, so now that we've done this, we are ready to use DeFi Kingdoms. Okay, so once we have this set and you're sure that you're on the Harmony network, you can go back to DeFi Kingdoms or just type it again, DeFi Kingdoms. All right, and this is not what you will see immediately. It will ask you to create a name. Just type any name, you know, and go ahead for you to get to this place. There may be some introductory screens that you will see. Just don't worry, go ahead and close what you need to close. But be sure that you can get to this page and that it is showing you something similar to this. So let me go ahead and, you know what, just catch up with you and see how many of you can see what it is I'm seeing on my screen, right? Just go ahead and put a 3 on the chat. If you're able to send some money to Harmony and you're able to connect to DeFi Kingdoms, then let me just see some 3s on the chat. Now, it depends obviously on if you have funds. If you don't have funds and you're not able to follow along, it's fine. Once the recording comes through, you'll be able to watch this again and again and, you know, take full advantage. But you know what? Now that we're here, let's go ahead and see how this thing works, because you're going to need somebody to guide you. Now, remember, there's a number of things we want to do here, right? And we need to cover these 3 things before this class ends. One, we are going to buy some jewel, right? So let me just open that again so that we remember where we are. So we've added Harmony to our MetaMask. We've acquired some one at the same time as we were bridging funds. Now we need to acquire Jewel. Now let's talk about Jewel. What's Jewel? Jewel is the cryptocurrency that you need when you are playing this game. Okay, so Jewel is the cryptocurrency that you need to play this game. So there are things that you will need to purchase. There are things you would need to buy, sell, or create. You're going to need Jewel to be able to do that. Okay. Now, how do you buy Jewel? Now, let's say we are at the same point and we both have USDC in our wallet. You see this icon here called Marketplace. You can also come to the menu on the top right-hand side here, and you can click on Marketplace, okay? But if you come to the Marketplace, right, you'll see something like this. Now, if you keep looking at this and you're wondering, am I not too old for this? I don't understand. What does all this have to do with cryptocurrency? Just follow along with us, right? People make money from this thing. So just follow along. Now, let's say you want to buy Jewel. Just come to, you see this trader person here over on the left. This person is always going to be here. Just click on trader here. And now you see an interface that is finally familiar, okay? Now we want to buy some jewels. So we have USDC in our wallet. So I'm going to click on USDC, and what I want to buy is jewel, right? Because this is the native cryptocurrency for this network. So if I do that, let me just go ahead and buy $250 worth of jewel, okay? It says that will give me about 33 jewel, right? I go ahead, I click swap, confirm swap. The MetaMask will pop up. Just accept it. Click confirm. Ooh, I should have shown you the transaction fee there. Well, don't worry, we'll do other transactions. Just wait for this to go through. My balance here needs to say 33, because that's okay, good. So the transaction has gone through. So now I have just bought 33 jewel. Now let's understand the price action of this cryptocurrency, right? So that you understand how valuable it can be. Remember, I've said jewel is the cryptocurrency that you need to play the game. So if you come back to, okay, you know what, let's use CoinMarketCap for that. And let's just look at jewel over the last 3 months. Okay, so jewel, and this is one of the reasons I'm even talking to you about it. In the last 3 months, in fact, yeah, it's come down from a high of about $10 to what I would call an affordable $5 to $6 range. Right? This is why we're even talking about this now. We look at price action over all time. You'll see that this thing has started out as a very, very high price, but there's demand for this cryptocurrency. Just ignore these reds. This is arbitrary from CoinMarketCap. So this thing has just bounced off a very important floor and is even now starting to trend up. Now it's nearly $8 for one jewel. Well, you need to understand that because this thing is a game and you're constantly going to have to keep buying jewel to do different things in the game, that's what creates demand for the cryptocurrency. And if you pay attention, jewel has a max supply. So if you've been listening to the cryptocurrency educators, Curtis Cobain, Nick Gomez, Mike Sotero, they always tell you, just be mindful of cryptocurrencies that have a max supply. This one only has 500 million, and we already have more than half of that in circulation for a game that is not up to 7 months old. So there's a very strong possibility that the price of this thing will trend upwards in the near term. So what we've just done now in this example is just to buy some jewel. Okay, you can just buy it and hold it, and based on the price going up, you can profit from that. So you don't need to play the game. You can just come and buy jewel here and be sitting on your jewel and go and do other things if the game aspect doesn't appeal to you. But that's just one thing you can do. There's something else you can do. You can stake the jewel, and the jewel will continue to go up as it's going up in price. Because you're staking it, it will also be appreciating in value. This will be something very similar to what we did on Anchor protocol, where you deposit some money there and then you see your Anchor, your UST going up in price. Now, how do you stake the jewel that you've just bought? Come to the menu and look for bank, right? That is where you will stake jewel. So if you come to bank, guess what? You're actually in a bank-like interface. And there's a teller in front of you, so just click the teller, okay? Now you'll see that when you stake jewel, they're going to give you something called X jewel. Okay. And this X jewel continues to appreciate in price over time. Okay. So instead of just buying jewel and holding it, if you don't want to just hold it, you can just come and deposit it here. And notice the instruction up here. You can stake your jewel tokens here. You provide rewards for those who do. You may withdraw at any time. So to answer the question that, you know what, if I put it now, do I have to wait to? No, you don't need to wait. So how would you stake it? Just come to deposits. Remember, you have some jewel. I'll just put 10 here for illustration purposes. Okay. And once you do that, just click deposit. Okay. MetaMask will pop up and you'll be able to confirm that transaction and deposit your jewel. Okay. Now, once you do that, your jewel is going to be going up in price. So instead of just buying it and holding it, remember what we say here, you know, look for ways to put your cryptocurrency to work. So it will be going up in price. Now, I know that we're running out of time here, but let me at least show you what's possible with the with yield farming, so that we'll cover that and then we'll pick that up as we go. So for yield farming, you need to come to this Gardens tab, right? Okay. So when you click on the Gardens tab, over on the left, you're going to see something called Seedbox. Don't worry, the first time I also saw all these different terminologies, I almost gave up. And I was like, why can't they make this thing simple? But you need to recognize that this thing is a game, right? So that's why it looks like this. But once you do this 1, 2, 3 times, you will be fine. Now let's click on Seedbox and let me just show you what's possible here. Now you can see different farms and how much you can earn. And remember, this is APR, not APY. Okay, remember we've talked about the difference here in this class. Now, there's different cryptocurrencies. Now you, of course, recognize Jewel. You can, you know, deposit Jewel, and I don't know what MIS is, and you get 800%. Let's scroll down to some of the ones that we know. Phantom, I have not talked about in class yet, but Phantom is also another important cryptocurrency that I am bullish on because it has long-term fundamentals. So Jewel Phantom, you get over 700% APR by staking it. Jewel and the native cryptocurrency for Harmony, you get over 760% for staking. Okay. If you've been on the DCX classes, you obviously know something big is going on with Superbid, the cryptocurrency called Superbid today. Okay, you can stake one and Superbid for over 750%. This is the native cryptocurrency for Polygon, Matic. You can stake Jewel and Matic for over 700% APR. Okay, and then you all know that we are very bullish on Luna in this class because it has long-term fundamentals, over 700% for Jewel and Luna. I don't know, I can go on and on. Then you can see some of the ones I am personally in, Jewel and UST. This is the same UST that you put in the Terra in Anchor, right? Over 660% APR, right? You have Jewel and AVAX. You have Jewel and the USDC that we brought here. And that's the reason we brought USDC here, because it's one of the few stable coins that you can take advantage of here. But with Jewel and USDC, you have over 500% APR. Now, just to wrap up here, right? These APRs are going to go down every 2 weeks, right? So one of the good things about this site is there is a predictable schedule about how the APRs will go down. So you can tell exactly when you want to get in, how much you want to make, and when you want to get out. Okay, that's something that's really, really good about this yield farm, unlike some of the other ones we know. We're not going to have the time to show you how to do the liquidity. We'll probably catch up with this on Friday, or you can explore on your own. It's pretty much the same way we do the other ones that we've done in class. But just look at the percentages here, right? And what is possible. Okay. even with your Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So if you're the kind of person you don't want to sell your Bitcoin and Ethereum, you deposit both of them here, you earn 47% a year, okay? Instead of just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum in your wallet, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do here. And notice that we've not even gotten to the NFT part or how you can play and earn, right? That one, I don't know, may probably take us a couple of days to go through, but at least what we've done here is go through the main steps for using DeFi kingdoms to, buy and hold, to earn staking rewards, and to do yield farming. When we come back on Friday, we're going to pick it up with play to earn and with trading. And if you saw those percentages for providing liquidity and you were amazed, then by the time we get to the NFT part of this on Friday, you'll see that there's even more that you can do. You can rent your NFTs, you can create new NFTs, and you can sell the new NFTs that you've created. It's amazing what you can do here. And notice with all this, we are not even concerned with the Bitcoin go up, the Bitcoin come down. We are just, we're filled with abundance in this place. So hopefully you got some value from this conversation today. This is just the first part of using DeFi kingdoms. So we've shown 3 ways that you can earn money. We're going to actually walk through the example to provide liquidity when we come back on Friday. But I really want that Friday session for us to be focused on NFTs, right? So that you can get confidence about buying your own NFT here and putting it to work for you. Either you use it to make money by playing games on the site, or you put it up for sale for other people to buy. Okay, so let me see if there's any, take maybe 1 or 2 questions before I turn this back to Chairman to wrap this up. Okay. All right, Chairman, sir, I'll turn this back to you.
We are found dumb, not dumbfounded. Guys, I don't know what to say. See the way I'm laughing. Multi-billionaire. My goodness, I think we should talk to Chris Terry to increase subscription to $1,000. What do you guys think? Oh my goodness! You see, the big thing here is many people don't know what we have. Including people that are in this business, including some of you that are hearing. You don't know. Last night, I was just watching some things on NFT. My head was just, I say, same $275 monthly. And that training was done in September. I was screaming. I was even hitting my head. I said, where have you been? Where have you been? Since September, this thing is here, and you didn't watch it. Guys, we are so blessed. We are so blessed. Dr. CJ, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to really tell you, but God, who knows how to reward, will reward you abundantly for pulling out these things, not just pulling it, because a lot of people might know it, but they might not know how to teach it. A lot of people might know it, but they might not know how to teach it. They can even go here and make all the money. And people might think they don't want to teach anybody. But that's why we gave him an honorary doctorate degree, Doctor of Crypto. Guys, I don't know what you're doing there. Put some fire emojis to celebrate this phenomenal gift that God gave to us. You should know when God gives, most times people are looking for, praying for blessing. Bless me, Lord. Bless me, Lord. Bless me, Lord. Pass like this. So pass like this. Let me speak this in pidgin. For some of you that don't understand this one, God cannot come down from heaven to bless you. He sends you men. He sends you opportunities. For you being here today, you are truly blessed. So bless someone else. Tonight by 9 p.m., we'll be having a session with David Immonite, Avantapian CEO. How many people are you bringing on that call? Oh, you've made $500 today. You're happy. Someone else is stressing. Someone else is hopeless. Some people are contemplating suicide because of absence. To them, there's scarcity everywhere. But here you're seeing opportunities, 790-something% per annum, 80,000% per annum. Legitimate, legit. Your money is in your hands. Legit. Some of us who've withdrawn, who've spent more on some of the money we made from Wonderland. You see, what we have is huge, and don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly.